And the only thing I knew about her is she had been in Cats, she sings, she dances, and she taught yoga. And over the years, I've come to know a lot more about how incredible she is. However, I didn't know what an incredible writer she was until she asked if Jeffrey Lewis and I and a few others would read her book before it went to print. I read it, and you don't know that part of me, but you can be an author and not write well, and I'm not great at writing like she is, but I was in the International Women's Writing Guild teaching for 20 years, and I read this and I thought, I have never read a book so easy to understand everything about how to introduce the Premium Starter Kits and anything else at a yoga class. So anybody who does yoga, anybody who wants to go to yoga centers, I'd like you to meet Susan Martz, our platinum, and she's going to put you through some places that are fantastic.
Thank you, man. And her book. No pressure there. So get out an oil. Any oil that makes you feel grounded or alive. Wake up. Anything that's in your purse, your bag, whatever you got. And if you don't have an oil on you, nudge your neighbor for a little drop. I have frankincense. It's my preference right now, but you can do peppermint if you feel like I need to wake up a little bit.
Oh yeah, pass the peppermint.
She's hysterical.
So you got your oil out, take a drop, drop it in the palm of your hand, activate the oil, cup it over your nose, and take a nice deep inhalation. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Put over your nose. I want to see hands over your nose. Hands over your nose. There we go. I can't do it while I'm talking into the mic, so I'll do this. Half-handed. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose. This time out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the nose. Shoulders relax. Hands are cupped over your nose. Spine aligns. Feel the chair in your back. Shoulder blades are resting down in your back. Feel the back of your neck elongate. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. That's fine. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Do you feel your whole body is just grounding now? So all that information that you took in, all that awesome information is now integrating into the body. Because until we know how we feel, we can't move into all that information and do it. We have to know where our body is feeling and what it's feeling. So where is your body feeling right now is the key. Is it in your head? Is it in your belly? Is it in your back? Your hips? So we're going to take our hands together and rub them. Keep rubbing as I talk into my armpit. Yes. Now, slowly. Yeah! Woo! So we want to slowly take the hands, close your eyes, stay in your body. Slowly take the hands and separate them. I'm going to do a little bit of voodoo. So I just want you to feel the energy between your hands and notice what the energy does when you separate the hands even a little bit further, and what it feels like if you bring them closer together. Maybe separate. And where does the energy grow? When they're more separate? When they're closer together? There's no right answer. Are you breathing? In through the nose, out through the nose. Nice. Do you feel that energy ball? Yeah. Turn it toward you now. Just you. Your face. Do you feel that? That's your own body energy. That's yoga. Your body energy. Now, take it to a place in your body that feels like it needs extra support right now. Wherever that is for you. Don't look around. This is your personal experience. There's no right or wrong. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the nose. And now take your hands, move it to another spot, or maybe you can turn it out into the world and heal someone that you know in your life right now that needs extra support. That's out into the world. That's our body energy. We all hold body energy. So from this place, let's take the arms up into the sky. Take a deep breath in. Oh, that feels good on the ribs. Breathe into the ribs. I'm going to have you hold here just for a little bit. Do you feel your rib cage expand? Breathe into those ribs and the intercostal muscles that sit in the rib cage. Breathe in. Good. Now you're going to place your hand down next to your seat, the right hand, and reach the left arm over. See if you can touch your neighbor. Yes, if you can, just tap them and say hi. Breathe. You got to keep breathing, though. Nice. And then up. Oh, my gosh, it's a sea of yoga. Left hand down, right arm over. Breathe, everybody. Stroke your neighbor. Tickle your neighbor. Good. And then lift up. One more time over to the other side because you didn't tickle that neighbor. There you go. Give him a little tickle. Are you breathing? Inhale up and over to the other side. Last time on this side. Oh, that feels good. You feel your spine. This is so good for spinal health. Inhale up. Good. Now we're going to place the hands on our lap and bring the chin to the chest. You feel that in the back of your neck? Yeah, let's just be there for a second. Breathe in. Just in that one breath, did you feel your neck just go and open? Now roll your right ear to your right shoulder. Oh, yeah. Breathe in. Sorry, it's making a lot of noise in there. Good. Over to the other side, chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Breathe in. Good. Let it all just wash off. Nice. And then chin to chest. And now we're going to let the weight of the head carry us down towards the knees. Go as far as your body will let you go. If you can go all the way and touch the floor, great. If the chair's in the way, don't worry about it. We don't want you hurting yourself. But right now we're breathing into our back. Do you feel the ribs and the back expand? Breathe deep in. Breathe in and breathe out.
You are in so much
Good. And then roll up. Slow and easy. Those who have low blood sugar, you want to go slow and easy. Take a minute for the blood to come back in. And come up. Good. Nice, everybody. So now we're going to take the right hand and we're going to place it on the outside. So if you want, you can even take a sweep with the right hand and place it on the opposite side of your chair or your neighbor. Give them a hug. But if you can go all the way around, even better, because now we're doing a spinal twist. So use the chair, the back of the chair, to help you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, go a little further and take that spine all the way around. Even take your chin and look past your right shoulder. And then your eyeballs go past your chin. Yes, it's a whole, what they call kundalini in yoga. And then slowly come back, lift the arm up, breath in. Exhale, release. Good. Oh my gosh, you guys look awesome doing it. Lift up, left arm reaches back and around. You feel it? A little tighter on this side maybe. Good. Take another deep breath in. A little further on your exhale. Take your chin past your shoulder, eyeballs past your chin. Yes, don't stop breathing though. Inhale, lift up. And release. Do you feel that in your body? Close your eyes just for a second. I just want you to feel your body. We're such visual beings in the world. Especially if we go to the gym or even the yoga studio, we tend to look at others before we feel ourselves. And so the key here is to, if it means closing your eyes, close your eyes and stay with you. Too often I have people come up to me and they say, "Oh, I can't do yoga. I'm not flexible enough." And I say, "Well, that's why we do yoga." So remember that those who are very flexible actually have to go further to feel what you feel. So if feeling this stretch right here is enough for you, that's a wonderful thing to feel, because you're opening and expanding yourself. Because I've been doing it a long time, may have to go to here because I want to feel it, just like you. So be careful that, "Oh, I can't do that. I'm not flexible enough. I can't touch my toes." That's okay. It's not about touching your toes. It's about waking up this part of your body so that you feel like you can step up onto stairs easier and move through the world easier. That's yoga. It's actually living and being yoga. So that when you come into an issue or a challenge in your life, you remember to breathe through it and remember, "Oh, that's right. I had a challenge lifting my leg up in yoga, but I don't because I breathed through it and I moved through it." Same when you come to a person that you're sharing oils with. They said no to me. That's okay. I can breathe through it, move through it, and move on to the person that is open and ready. It's about taking the practice that you have off the mat and into the world. And that's what yoga's about. And I know you're showing me a sign, but I don't know what it says. 5 minutes? 30 seconds. So everybody, just cup your hands. Because we don't have time to open the bottle and drop. So cup your hands, take a deep breath in. Remember, the oils are there for you to transform you, your body, your mind. Keep breathing, close your eyes, take this in. It's for you to have the experience so that you can move into the world and offer that experience and live it. Does that make sense? So take a deep breath in. And let that breath come in through the crown of the head, down through the body, into the feet. Exhale out. And again, deep breath in through the crown of the head, and down through the feet, down the exhalation. And remember, you are whole and complete, and all of who you are is perfect. So enjoy your day. Come see me at the booth. I've got a book just for you. Thank you, everybody. Mwah. Namaste.
Sacred Mountain.
Wow, what did you think about that? Yes, Thank you, Susan. She found out that Shannon couldn't be here, and she contacted me and said, I can help. And I said, that would be lovely. Thank you. Very nice. And also Jeffrey Lewis is in the house. He's another diamond. Woohoo! So right now, what I'd like to do is I'd like to honor some of our business builders in Young Living. Who here is a star? Stand up. A star in Young Living. All right, look at these guys. Woohoo! Thank you. So a star means that they have 500 PV in their organization. All right. Let's see who's a senior star. All right? It doesn't have to be this month. Once you hit it, you're always it. Ready? Senior stars. Woohoo! Awesome. Okay, and a senior star is 2,000 of organization group volume. All right, next step up, which is kind of the very first start to leadership, is executive. How many executives are in the house? Wow! Look at you guys. Wow! Woo, thank you. Yep, and I'll bet many of them are just teetering right on silver, right? Ready to rock it, hit it, blow it out, right? Okay, how many silvers are in the house? Wow! Look around. Woo! This is leadership right here. Awesome. Very nice. Thank you. All right. How many golds are in the house? Let me see you. All right. Congratulations. Very nicely done. All ready to go another rank pretty soon, right? Working on it. All right. Where are our platinums? Whoa! All right. Do you know how much talent this represents? How much knowledge? I mean, wow. So I'm planning another conference next year again. So, if you got people in here who love to teach, give me a heads up. Always looking for some good teachers, right? Yeah, lots of talent out here. Amazing. All right. We've got, I want to see our diamonds in the house. Woo! All right. We got Nancy. We got Marlene. Where is Jeffrey? Where's Jeffrey? And, thank you. Woo! All right, diamonds. Well, it's my privilege now to introduce to you my beautiful friend, Marlene Wiegers. And I was going through a very difficult time in my life about 6-7 years ago. I didn't really know Marlene other than that I had cruised with her on some Young Living cruises. We'd been to Ireland together, hung out a little bit, but I knew her through Young Living. She found out I was going through some tough stuff, and she called me up. And to this day, it still touches my heart, because I was probably at the lowest point in my life, other than when I had a son pass away, but this was a tough time. And she reached out to me. She just knew me through Young Living, and I had lived in Michigan. And so she came, and she stayed with me, and we have been rocking it out and having lots of fun ever since. Last year, she never came. The whole year, because she was working. She hit diamond in November. Yes. Marlene recently attained the rank of diamond, and one of her greatest pleasures at that moment was seeing the icon next to her name on her virtual office turn from a P into a diamond, a real, actual diamond icon. It was a thrilling and very moving moment for her after all her hard work and dedication to her team. She's a great team leader. Marlene lives in Michigan, has 2 beautiful grown children, enjoys meeting her teammates for lunch, and especially enjoys coming to Florida for the beautiful sunsets and sunny beaches. A warm welcome for Diamond Marlene! Woohoo! Yeah!
Thank you. I want to kind of talk a little bit about my story, because my talk is on building to diamond. So I want to share that number one, we all start in the same place. We all start with becoming a member and getting a starter kit, correct? So what we do with that from that point on is up to us. So when I signed up 9 years ago in Young Living, I'm going to tell you a secret, so it's probably going to end up on Facebook, and then it's not going to be a secret anymore. But I was legally disabled, had some back surgeries and hardware in my spine, was going through a divorce, and I was broke. So I wanted to get a starter kit because somebody introduced me to Young Living, and I loved them, the oils, right off the get-go, and I'm like, I'm getting a kit. But I didn't have any money, and I didn't have my own credit card. So because I was divorced but still living in the home, I borrowed my ex-husband's credit card without telling him. So I got the number, and I purchased my starter kit. And the fun thing about that was before he even needed to be told that I put, back in the day it was like $160, and I remember it was 9 years ago what we paid, but I had gotten a commission check from Young Living, so I was able to pay the credit card bill before he even knew I put a charge on it, so that worked well. But to go back to where I was 9 years ago, and had literally had no money. So I was telling Christy about this. We were talking yesterday. I said, I can remember, and I kind of forgot about things like this. It's been a while, but I remember 9 years ago when I got my starter kit. I'm thinking, okay, I'm using these oils. I'm sharing my oils, and how am I going to get more? Because I don't really have any money. So I started collecting, going through my old jewelry boxes and getting all my broken gold bracelets, the earring. When you have one piece left, you lost the other one. Started collecting all my jewelry, my silver, my gold, and I was going to take it to the jeweler, weigh it, and get cash for it. Just could cash it in, and then I could buy some oils. Well, I ended up getting a check in the mailbox from Young Living. My first check was over $800, and I called Young Living because I thought it was a mistake. So right, you get a check from Young Living. I just signed up, and all of a sudden there's all this money in the account or in my bank or in my mailbox. So I called them, and they said, "Oh, that's your commission check." All right, well, didn't know you could get paid. I was just sharing essential oils with my friends and family. So that check came, and I bought more oils. Was able to put a little bit aside, and that to this day, I never took that jewelry to the jewelry store. I still have it. So at that point, though, I knew that our oils were more valuable than gold. I was going to cash all my gold. I wanted oils. Gold wasn't saving my life, right? It's a material item. We need things that our body can use, so that would be your Young Living essential oils. So again, everybody comes from a different place. And where you're at when you sign up in Young Living or where you are at today, there's always a way. And I will say that if I can do this, if any of us that have hit ranks of silver, gold, platinum, diamond, crown, or royal crown, we've all came from somewhere and started somewhere also. So know that if one of us can do this, anybody can. So if you're not and you've been trying, you need to start kind of thinking, why am I not growing? You have something, sort of a block in there, an emotional block probably, and you need to work on figuring out what that is or doing an emotional release, and that really will help. And it's funny because I use the emotional oils all the time, so things are probably releasing all the time without me even realizing it, which is kind of cool too. You don't even need to know what you're doing, like Jim Bob said. You don't need to know, just put the oils on, they do what they do. So back in the day, 9 years ago, I started little meetings, little classes, and put out there to my 2 or 3 new people that I had enrolled that I was going to do a little, let's educate each other, let's learn together. So we started sitting at my kitchen table, and there was 2 or 3 people, and then a week or 2 later, it would be 2 or 3 people, maybe plus 1. So it slowly started growing, and I was doing meetings, and I was teaching people, and 1 by a time or 2 at a time, and then I realized I'm never around. So when my son was still in high school, my daughter was already in college, but I said, so I'm never around for him when he comes home from school. So I decided I'm going to pick 1 day a week, and I'm staying home. I'm going to stay home on Thursday, and Thursday's laundry day, it's prep a bunch of meals day, it's mow the lawn day, all of that, and I'm home from this all day long, so whatever time you want to come over, call me, You're going to be 10 to 12. Perfect. I got somebody coming from 10 to 12. So up until 10 o'clock, I can do laundry or mow the lawn, right? And I worked it that way because now that one day all my new people or my local people could just come to my house. It was real relaxed. So I see a lot of people today are, trying to start a class or a meeting, and they think that their first meetings would be 65 people. And then when it's not, they're all like, oh, nobody's coming to my class. I only got 14. 14's huge. 1's huge. 2's huge. So whatever amount of people show up, they get all of what you have to offer. All right? Just realize, too, is most of my business was built one person at a time. I've got over 4,000 people in my group, and most of that was one person at a time. And even for my downline leaders, they do a lot of the one-on-ones. And I think that's huge because it's a relationship building time. So if you have a relationship and you've made a friend and you're working together and you're doing these things together, you're going to grow. And now they're going to stay. Right? Where if you go do a class and there's 15 people and you only know 2 of them, and they may all buy a kit, but how many of them order again? How many of them get on Essential Rewards? But if you have that relationship, pick up the phone and call your people. Create that relationship. Is huge. And I remember back 2 years ago, is like a lot of the people in my group, the first time when they first enrolled, they didn't really have anybody. Maybe their spouse was deceased and their kids are all grown and they're all by themselves. Okay, well now they sign up in Young Living and they're in this room. Now they got 80 friends that they wouldn't have not have known. And you hear a lot of us saying, a lot of you would say the same thing. You wouldn't know half the people you know today if it weren't for Young Living. Right? So it's brought a whole lot of people together and a whole lot of friendships. There's a whole lot of heads nodding up here too. So you guys know it's a relationship business, and we have a lot of fun, and we like to share that. So you want to keep bringing your friends to different events, and to all the events, I should say. When I teach classes, and I personally don't do a subject matter where it's chiseled in stone. A lot of people do. A lot of my downline leaders like to have that topic. They like to be, and I'm not that person. I'm the person who's like, okay, well, let's say we're going to talk about the cleansing trio on Thursday. But then Thursday comes, and I've got 2 or 3 new guests. I'm going to talk about the cleansing trio. At that point, we're jumping right back to the premium starter kit, Everyday Oils kit, because I want those 3 people to start from the beginning. So if there's a new person in the room, we're going to do the Everyday Oils kit, and then that may be the last 10 or 15 minutes on product. Okay, so that's just something I've always done, because I truly believe that if they've never heard of the Young Living, or this is their first experience, they really should hear about the Everyday Oils kit and the diffuser. That's what I do. I was going to share too on how to help some members or possible members get their starter kit when you hear people, a lot of excuses are, I can't afford it. Correct? Okay, so what do you do when somebody says, I want a starter kit, I just can't afford to get one? Anybody ever hear that before? Okay, well, what can you do? This is one thing I do. Now, in the beginning, after I got my first Young Living check, I could help on the average 1 person a month with the income I had, doing what I'm about to share with you. Today, I can help 1 a day, 10 a day. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what I would do is, okay, let's just say you want to get a starter kit. Can't afford it, husband won't let you use a credit card, whatever the excuses are. I would help them get the kit. It's their account, and I would ship that kit to my house because I'm paying for it. But it's their kit. And they would come by every 3-4 days or a week or every once a month or whatever they had to do, and they would give me what they could afford. $20, $35, whatever they weaseled out of the grocery money. It doesn't matter. So little by little, but I would keep that box with that person's name, and as they give me $10, $20 minus, and when it's a 0, they paid it off. Everything left in that box is theirs because they paid for it, right? But in the process of doing that, they are members. They are signing people up. They're having house parties. They're doing one-on-ones. Do you think next month they're going to have a hard time buying the oils they want when we've helped produce an income? No. Now they're getting checks for $600, $2,000, $8,000, whatever it is. So we help a lot of people not live in that poverty level. There's been quite a few girls or women on my team that were single moms on state aid. And that's how we helped them start. I helped them start, get their kit, help them do classes, help them sign up people. They're now getting checks. They pay me back, they own their kit. Does that make sense? Okay. There's a lot of little things you can do like that. I never, ever, ever let that excuse stop me from signing somebody up. Somebody says, I don't have any money, I can't buy it. Would you like to have enough money to buy it? Because we offer that too. Okay, so that's something, keep that thought in mind. Okay, so we live in an era of social media and technology, do we not? How many people in here love doing live video? Let's rephrase that. How many people in here absolutely do not want to do live Facebook videos? I'm not the only one. Good. I have never done one. I don't do a lot on social media. You can build to any rank in Young Living without social media. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, the younger generations are doing great on, well, I shouldn't say just younger. A lot of people are doing great on social media.
Thank you.
But a lot of us have done it without it. All right, so again, there's no wrong or right way. Do what works for you and what you're comfortable with. Now, one day you'll probably see me do a live Facebook video, and then you go, she says she never does that. I have not done it to this day. Doesn't mean I never will. Honestly, I'm scared to do it. I'm not a techie person. And I find it very strange to stare at my phone and talk to myself when there's nobody there. It's just, it's weird. Now, I know there's a lot of people that do it. They do a great job. Some of the girls in my organization do a video a day. And their teams are growing like crazy. They're going platinum in less than a year.
I have a great trick for that.
Yeah, you would tell me it again. Put paper over sticky note over my screen of my phone so I can't see myself. We were talking about this the other night.
I'm challenging you.
Do you guys hear that in the back? She's challenging me. I don't know if I'm going to accept that challenge. You'll be one of the first probably to know because you'll see it.
I'll see it.
And she'll be tagged or commenting. But just know that even when I signed up in Young Living, I didn't even have a computer. Okay, I didn't know how to use a computer. Everything I did, I called Young Living, and they would put in my new members. I'd spell their last names over, and they'd type it all in and do all of it. I did it all over the phone. I went silver for sure without a computer. I think I was pretty close to gold before I actually got a computer and learned what I was doing on it. So again, people say, well, I can't do it, I don't have a computer. That's another excuse. You can do it without a computer. We have phones. Speaking of phones, is there anybody in here that still picks a phone and actually says, hello? Anybody still talk on phones? Okay, I talk on the phone. I love talking to my people on the phone. If somebody sends me a text message with 2 or 3 questions, it's so funny. I got one text a while back. There was like 6 questions, one right after the other. So I got a pen and paper, and I'm writing down, okay, read the first question. Answer is yes. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. And that's what I sent back. No. Yes. Yes. No. And they come up with question marks. I said, they match your questions. Why do I have to type you out a storybook? If you have that many questions, then call me. Call me on the phone. And the texting, to me, is a quick text, especially in a room and you're trying to communicate with somebody. I get it. I get that. You bet. They're texting, oh, guys, this is great. I wish you were here. I get that because you can't talk in here. But you're sitting on your patio or you're sitting on the beach and you're texting for 8, 10, 15 minutes with the same person. Could have had that conversation in 30 seconds and put your phone down, right? Okay. Old-fashioned, a little bit. My kids tell me I'm old-fashioned. Oh, that's okay. But again, whatever works for you is what you're going to do, whatever you're comfortable doing. As a Young Living member, a distributor, if you want to build Young Living and you are working on building a team, be a product of the product. And a huge part of what, like Jim Bob was saying and Sarah was talking about, is we got to do the transfer buying. Get the stuff out of your house that is harming you. Now you're a product of the product. So when your friends come over and they go use the restroom and you have a Thieves Pump soap in there, right? You don't have dollar store antibacterial purple smelly soap in there. You have a Thieves Pump soap. right? So I can remember I had this it was around Christmas, and a lot of my group were having their team Christmas parties. So I would pop from one to the other because they invite me to them, and so I'm bopping around to these Christmas parties. And it was so, I just loved it, and I brought it up to them. I love going into these people's homes because the restrooms have been cleaned with thieves, the thieves soaps, the lavender pump soaps. You go into, they say, I'm kind of hungry, what do you got? And everything in their house is organic. 9 years ago I was new in Young Living. I was the first person in my town to be a Young Living distributor. So I'd go to people's houses and I didn't want to wash my hands because they were probably clean or not washing them than using the stuff they had in their bathrooms. So, but now you see more and more people are filling their homes with Young Living products, and I just love it. And while I'm talking about all the millions of people filling their homes with Young Living products, I'm going to ask that everybody, when you call Young Living Distributor Network, please be nice.
Right?
Please be kind. They put up with they do such a good job, and we had a lot of shipping issues around the holidays, as we all know, right? Young Living did everything they could to get everything out, and you have to understand it wasn't Young Living that didn't get those boxes out in time. It was FedEx. Those boxes were packaged and on pallets, sitting, waiting for trucks for days. So when people are calling Young Living, go, I can't believe I was supposed to have it before Christmas, and you're screaming and yelling at them, our distributor network services, or ladies and guys are, they're in tears, they're quitting because distributors are so rude. Now, that's not what we are. That's not what we want to be. That's not how we want to represent Young Living. So, be kind. Did I say be kind? If you have a hard time being kind, put sticky notes everywhere in your house that say be kind. Oh, and another thing too. Do what?
Put joy on your heart.
There you go. Carry it everywhere. I was going to say something. I forgot. Okay. Another thing too is when you're working on when you're talking to other people, you're looking to build Young Living, working on doing all of the above. I'm all about keeping it simple. Keep things simple. And like I think Jim Bob was saying, he was the one talking about this, about how everybody, we go to sites or talk to people about oils, and we think we have to be biochemists and quantum physicists, and you don't. Keep it simple. Don't be overpowering, overwhelming, because people get the big thing I think is a lot of people think, well, I'll never know all this. I can't do this. I can't walk around and teach somebody else everything I just heard from these people, because we've got a lot in their head. Keep it simple. Okay, every bit of it in the beginning, keep simple. And I always tell people too, and again, this goes back to my my non-techie, I don't even know the word I would call myself. I'm just non-techie. So, seriously. You probably have a technical term for that, Danita.
Sharon.
No?
Being nice.
Oh, she's being kind. She wrote a sticky note. Good job. I forgot what I was saying.
Squirrel.
Huh?
Squirrel.
I don't do PowerPoints.
Keep it simple.
I don't do PowerPoints. And if you've heard me speak ever, you know I don't do PowerPoints. Christy, one time I was coming down here, I was going to speak, and she sent me an email or a text. I need you to send me a PowerPoint. What? I said, you want a PowerPoint? You got to make it. I know how to make a PowerPoint. I still to this day don't know how to make a PowerPoint. So again, anybody can do Young Living, and you do it for where it works for you, with what you're comfortable doing. And one other thing I do want to touch on, I don't know how much time I have. I don't see her anyway. I'm going to talk about this for a second too. We get together a lot as cross lines. There's a whole lot of different Young Living groups in this room. There's a lot of times there's a lot of cross lines in our local classes and meetings. We really frown on you trying to move people into your team when they come to your class. So if I have a distributor that lives, I'm just going to use the town. You guys aren't doing this. I'm not reprimanding anybody. I'm just saying. So if I have a friend that lives in Venice, Florida, who's been in my downline, and she chooses to go, let's just say, to Christy's event, and somebody in that event tries to tell her to change into their line. Not that it's happened, because it has not. Let's get that clear right from the get-go. Everybody's great down here about that. But when you go home with this, keep this in mind. Don't try to move distributors into your downline for that so that they can come to your class. It's unethical. It's unacceptable. It's just not right. And keep in mind that if you do it to somebody, you better be okay with it when it happens to you, because it will. And you also want to keep this in mind. We all know who does stuff like that. Word travels real fast amongst the leadership, so we'll know. So if somebody says, you don't send your people to those classes, don't let your people talk to those people, and you don't want to be that person. It's again, it's unethical. So if somebody's already enrolled, and they want to come to your class because that's where they live, it's just, again, be kind, let them come. We open our classes up, so open yours. Okay, now it's a little different if you have to charge. You're renting a room, and it's costing you $50. It's $5 at the door, or it's $10 at the door. We definitely do that if you need to do that. And we've also had where other cross-line leaders come. We say, okay, can you bring a few giveaways? So they'll bring a couple, 5 mil vitalities or whatever, and then we'll have them to give away from the front of the room. So everybody pitches in. So let's not try to sneak people back and forth into other lines. Now, once they're inactive, of course, they can go anywhere they choose, and that is a legal move or a legal re-enrollment. I know we were talking about a couple of things the other day, too. I think one of the keys for being a Young Living business builder or a successful one is learn how to listen. Do you guys ever notice that usually when somebody's telling you a story, the first, what's in your brain, stop and pay attention to this. When somebody's telling you a story, your brain's already trying to think of what it's going to say when you have the chance to speak. Am I right? Or are you actually absorbing what they're saying? So the better listener you become, the more successful you'll be, because people know that you're listening, you care. So be a good listener, learn how to do that. You're not going to wake up, if you're not a good listener, you're not going to wake up by tomorrow and be one. It takes time and reprogramming. So really work on that. Be helpful to your teams. When your people need you, be there and be available. That's funny, because that's one thing when people, my team always says that they know that if they need me, I will answer my phone. I don't make you wait 4 days for a return phone call. If you text me as soon as I see it, I will text you back. Don't text me 4 questions, because you're gonna yes, no, maybe. But I take care of that. If somebody calls or the phone's ringing, if I can answer it, I will. Otherwise, I call them right back. There's a lot of people, that's a huge thing, because you never know what they're calling for. They might need help signing up their new member for the very first time, or whatever. But be available. Be available. Share your oils everywhere you go. Now, we're all here at a Young Living event, so on a day that you weren't at a Young Living event, you got up to run chores, run the kids to school, go grocery shopping, whatever you're doing, do you always have oil with you?
Always.
Okay, always have essential oils with you. Also, always have business cards or something that has your name, member number, and phone number on it so that people can reach you. I shared this before, and I'm going to do it again because I really do like this, and I use it all the time. But these are, this is a starter kit, everyday oil starter kit, and it shows you every oil that's in the kit, and then the back side is the picture of it with diffuser. I attach a coupon to it so that when I'm on an airplane, or I'm at the grocery store, or I'm at the gas station, or wherever I'm at, getting new tires on the car, whatever it is, and I have this, so if I'm talking to somebody, I can give them this card. If they want to get back with me, they have my contact information. The reason I put the coupon on it is because if there's 8 of us, and we're all Young Living distributors, we're all here because there's, 500 of us in Venice, Florida right now, and you're all going to go tomorrow after the event. You're going to go out to eat, or you're going to go to walk some shops, and you give out the same kind of a card with your contact information on it. But then they get one from me, because I wouldn't do it knowing you already gave them one, but if I didn't know, and I give them mine, and they decide next week or 6 months from now they want to get some essential oils, whose card will they respond to? The one with $20 off. They also probably won't throw this in the garbage, because we're $20. Adds value to the card. How do we honor this card? When they do call, Well, you could do one of many things. I always either say once they're signed up and they're in the downline viewer and I see that 100 PV or more, I can mail you a check for 20. I can give you cash if we're sitting face to face while we're doing this. I can offer you an essential oil of a $20 value or some reference materials. So you can, or I can put a product credit on your account. Product credits are easy. Product credits also mean PV. So if I'm going to give this out and I'm going to sign this gentleman up and he wants the he has $20 coming to him, one of my first choices was I can give you $20 product credit, so next time you order you have $20 to put toward whatever you want. Okay, so that's how these work. But these are fun. You can get a lot of that stuff from Life Science Publishing. They have a lot of promotional stuff. One thing I will say, when you're building Young Living, probably any company, the difference between the successful people and the people that are not is the successful people never quit. It's really the only difference. So if you ask any of the golds, platinums, diamonds in the room, say, well, so if you could give me one tip, what would it be? Most of them all would probably say, just don't give up. Just keep on keeping on. And you're going to have things happen. We all do. We have people in our groups move to other groups. We have this happen. We have that happen. We have comp plan changes. We have this. We've all gone through stuff. Okay, now you can either run with your tail between your legs and quit, or you can let it make you stronger. Because you will get stronger every time. It's like I remember when I was kind of new in Young Living, I had this gentleman signed up. He was actually a massage therapist for my town. And I was really starting to build really fast. And he says, what would you do if somebody got in front of you to stop you or slow you down in your business? And I thought about it for about 2 seconds. I said, well, I'd either knock them over or I'd go around them. They wouldn't stop me. I mean, so keep that thought in mind too. If you're walking down the sidewalk and there's a tree down in front of you or a boulder, are you just going to look at it and go back to where you came from? Or are you going to step over it or around it to get to where you were going in the first place? Don't let things stop you. Keep on going. If you keep going, you will get there. For sure. I will take a few questions too if I have any, if I have a second or, yeah, I know, go ahead. Okay, first I'm going to clarify the question, and I'm not sure I understand the question. She wants to change what about the kit? Oh, okay, she didn't want the prepackaged choice, the pre-choices. She wants to make up her own starter kit. I'm like, I'd probably, okay, I don't want to sound mean, I'm going to be kind. I'd probably smacked her. No, I'm just kidding. You get the same thing we all get. I bought the same kit 9 years ago. A couple different changes in oils, but I always just say, well, just get the starter kit, and if you want to add a few oils, we can. And or if you we don't want to, can't afford to add more at this time or whatever the deal was, I would just say, well, then just get your starter kit, and if you're not sure you want the joy and the frankincense or the RC, whatever, just then we'll trade for something of equal value. And I would just trade them out a few oils. I can't see that. Christy, I can't see what you're holding up at me. 10. She need to make that bigger. Yes.
When you do your first presentation to people, do you present all 11 oils, or do you choose a few, and what are they?
All right, question was a presentation for a first introduction to a new person. Do I share all the oils at that time, or just a few? And if it's just a few, which ones? Depends on how much time I have, and it also depends on their interest level. So if they're sitting there and you can tell they're getting bored or they're looking at their clock, we're done. We're done, and we go through 2 or 3 or 4. And if they have to go, they have to go. If I'm actually doing a house party or where we are getting together for an hour and we're going to talk oils, I'll get through the whole kit. And I'll do all the essential oils in the diffuser.
So, Lori, one of the most moving stories I ever heard was your first testimonial story about being in Walmart. I still have you in Walmart. So could you share that and talk about the importance of sharing your own story?
Thank you. I will. And I will tell you, yes, I was in Walmart, and no, I was not in my pajama pants. What is that anyway? Why do people feel the need to go to... I'm sorry, there might be some of you in here. I'll just not... Be kind. Stay. Be kind. Don't make fun of the Walmart people. Okay. Yes, I was actually... they're pointing at somebody. Why? Somebody at Walmart people? Oh, in your pajamas? They flew here in pajamas. Okay. So she wanted me to share a little bit. When I was introduced to Young Living in a grocery store, Walmart, and a lady came up to me out of nowhere. I never saw before in my life, did not know who she was, but I'm going to go back to before that. I was disabled and in a whole lot of pain after a car accident and major back surgeries, and I was pretty much down for about 6 years. Disabled, and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of surgeries. I was sick and tired of medications. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so I've been praying every day for a good 7, 8, 9 months. Please give me something to help me so that I can function, or let me go home, because I'm done. I can't do this. So I was grocery shopping for the kids, and at the time my husband, soon to be ex, and picking up some stuff, and I was a lot of pain, again, a lot of medications, and this girl comes up to me and she says, or this woman, "Hi, how you doing? Have you ever heard of essential oils?" I'm like, what? I'm like, keep in mind, I'm on some pretty serious meds, and she's all hee, and I'm like, okay, you're really weird. And she pulls out this pepper, and she goes, "Oh, you just smell it." So I put it in my hand, and I did the rubbing and inhaled it. She gave me a little bit of information, some little reference kind of stuff. I went home and I checked it out. Didn't have a computer, so I couldn't Google it or go online. Siri didn't exist yet. So I just went home and I kind of looked and read a few things. She had a couple CDs. I listened to those, and I called her that night, and I wanted to go there that night and get some of these oils, because for the first time in many, many years, something made sense to me. So she wouldn't let me come over because it was too late. Now she thought I was a stalker, and I'm like, "You can't come over, it's 10 o'clock. I don't care, I'm coming over." "No, you're not." So anyway, I went over in the morning, I got my kit. Actually, I went over to her house, and I wanted my kit, and I took the credit card to give her the money, and she kept saying, "We're not going to put it in right now, we're not going to put it in right now," and I was getting really frustrated. She goes, Tuesday, we're going to Dearborn. Gary Young is in town. He's doing a conference. You can get your kit there for no shipping." I'm like, cool. So we went 2-3 days later and that was my first experience with Gary, personally. Gary Young, founder of our company, for those of you who don't know, was about 3 days after I was introduced to Young Living. So I was very, very impressed with the company, very impressed with the man. Still to this day, very impressed with the company and very impressed with the man. Gary Young is like somebody I've never met before. So thank you, Gary. Give him a hand. So is that kind of what you wanted? So then I started using my oils, and that was 9 years ago, and that was the last time I did anything medication-wise, doctor-wise, except one time I was walking down my steps in my house, and I caught that bottom step, so when I kind of jammed down, it just threw my back into spasms, and I couldn't move, so I ended up in the ER for an emergency MRI to make sure that we didn't, jar the hardware or whatever. And that was the first and only time I did anything in my body since I've been in Young Living. And I got there, and like Jim Bob said, when you're in that kind of pain, you just put something in my IV. I don't even care what it is. Hook me up, man, because I cannot see straight. So they did the MRI, and then after that, I was back to Young Living, and ever since again. So, I'm looking for Christy. I think she's... Am I done?
Over here, Marlene.
One more question.
Okay.
Right here. Me.
Go ahead.
You know how you said that when people they say they can't afford it, then you say, do you want an income opportunity? What do you do when they say no?
Okay, have a nice day. I mean, if they don't want the oils and they don't want an income opportunity, then why? I'm moving on to the next one.
But then they say they want the oils, but they can't afford it, and then you say,
Well, then I say I'm going to help you afford it if you want to.
For them and let them make payments.
Yeah, they can, and they don't have to go do a house party to earn an income. They can just give me back $20, $30 here or there until it's paid off, and I'm good with that. That's fine too. Whatever works for them, because you never know where they are in their life. Where are they at? Did they just? I met this lady. We got her enrolled about a month ago, and the woman is under a couple of us down, and I helped her enroll this new young lady. And my other member is like, "Why can't you come to meetings?" "What do you mean you can't come to meetings?" She goes, I have 4-year-old quadruplets. I'm sorry, 4-month-old quadruplets. I'm like, sweet, you better steal them. Don't bring them to my meeting. No, teasing. Love kids, but you never know where people are at, so help them with whatever. I'm real serious about whatever people want, that's what I'll help you with. If you want help building, I'll help you build. If you want help getting your oils so that in a way you can afford to do it, I'm going to help you do that. If you want help teaching a class, I'm going to help you teach a class. If you don't want my help at all, I'm good. Take you right, delete. No, not really. I can't delete you, but so whatever it is, be available for your people and help them with whatever they want. One thing I will say is if somebody tells you I'm not interested in building a business, be okay with that. Say, okay. Most of my silvers, golds, and platinums have all said that to me. Those are the people that will become your leaders. The people that sign up and they're like, I'm going to rock your world. I'm going to make you Royal Crown Diamond. You go, sweet. And they're one of those, what did somebody call them? Oh, I think Sarah called them a one order wonder or something. Yeah, yep. So when people say they don't want to do it, it's okay. They're just saying no at this time. You don't know what they're going to do next month or 5 years from now. Love on them anyway. Okay. More? I can do more. I can do this all day long. Yes, back here. Absolutely. My phone number is on my card. I used to, at one time, I had a friend of mine made me a Young Living decal for my car. So it said Young Living Essential Oils, Marlene, and my phone number. So everywhere I was driving, you could see that I was a Young Living distributor. That was all fine and dandy till I got a creeper call. I'm driving home, it's at night, my phone starts ringing. I said, hello, they go, is this Marlene? Yes, it is. They're right behind me. Oh yeah, I scraped that sucker out the next morning. We're done. Never did that again. I highly recommend for women not to do that on your car. Probably men in this world the day we live in too, because now they're behind you, they can get you to call pick up your phone, and it's kind of scary. So after that, I took it off. Product credit. When I want to give somebody product credit, all I have to do is call Young Living with their member number, and they will put a product credit. I don't need the PIN number or password. So if you're in my organization, I can call up and say member number such and such. This is their name. I'll put a $20 product credit on it. It's there. And now next time they place an order, they can apply that. It's like cash. Pardon? It's on my credit card. That's correct.
Do you want to explain the limits on that and what levels, what ranks you put how much? Do you know?
Yeah, it's 25 is the limit. So I can't put 30 or 50 on.
Silver and up can put more than 20.
On an existing member number, yes. On a new sign-up, no. So if I'm signing somebody up brand new, I can offer no more than $25 off, and that would be come out of my pocket, not Young Living, and that could be, again, essential oil gift, it could be reference materials, whatever. I can product credit the already existing members, and is there a limit on that? I think it could be anything if they're already members. Bridget, do you know?
$350 is the max that you can put on either, I think, in one account or a total of a bunch of people. You can't do more than $350 at one time, I believe.
Okay, but I can do $350 on somebody in my downline as a product credit.
I don't know that.
See, we'll look into that. Actually, I'll get a hold of one of the other diamonds in the room.
My diamond gave you $300 credit, so I know that that's...
Okay, $300 onto one account at one time? Okay. Wait a minute, Nancy's got us an answer. Nancy? I can do what? Okay. Okay. So yeah, that sounds like there's not a limit on gifting to your existing members. Where they put that $25 limit is for new enrollments. And is what was going on is I would say I would offer you $20, offer a $20 gift. Somebody else is going over there. I'll give you $25. I'll give you $30. I'll give you $45. It was a bidding war all over Facebook. Okay, so it's ridiculous. Again, there's that lovely technology. Oh, I'll give you $50 off. Well, Young Living put the kibosh on that real quick.
Do you have like top 3 personal development or business tools that you would recommend?
Top 3 business tools.
Anybody motivational speakers?
There's a lot. Off the top of my head, I am not a good person at remembering names and titles of things. But if I go home and Sarah Harnish. There you go. They're number 1 on the list. She has some awesome stuff. But there's you got Eric Worre, all those kind of guys. Yeah, you're probably your motivational speakers. I got one other note here I want to share with you. Everybody wonders, well, when you first get signed up, or how do I know who to call, or where do I start? I can remember when I got my kit, and then I talked to my close neighbors and my girlfriends, which were a couple of them that I had known through the homeschool mom. So I told them about the oils. Then I'm like, okay, who else can I call? Who else can I call? So I took out, a lot of you younger people don't realize, but we actually had phone books. And there was names and phone numbers in them. So I got that out, and in there was names and phone numbers and addresses, because these were people that I sent Christmas cards to. We invited to birthday parties. So I went through them one by one. A's, B, it was alphabetical too, by the way, in our phone books. A's, B's, C's. So I just went through the whole phone book, called all my cousins, called all the people that in my life at the time were getting Christmas cards, or they were sending them to me. So that was a real good start too. So keep that in mind. You've got friends and family that if you haven't shared with, you need to. And everybody has at least 6 friends, right? If you don't, you better find 6, because somebody's gonna have to carry you out when you die. You need 6 friends. So if you have 6 friends, there's 6 lines. 6 lines will take you to Crown Diamond. So make sure you get a hold of your friends. The funnest thing about Young Living is we get to pick who we work with. And just so all you guys know, we were talking earlier about the cross lines and stuff. A lot of people assume Christy and I are in the same line. We are not. Christy and I are cross line, and we have been very, very good friends, dear friends, for I don't even know how long. I was joking with the other day, there was a Facebook post, it's 2 little old gray-haired ladies, and so we've been friends so long, we don't remember which one was the bad influence. So that's what I said to her. There will be a day that we're not going to remember which one of us that was. So, but anyway, thank you.